So on page 43, she talks a bit about the needs of what are called second-handers, which is a big concept in her book, in the Fountainhead. And a second-hander is someone who needs other people and needs their praise to sustain their life and their empty selves. And you may know people like that. You may know people that are not prime movers. They're not self-motivators. They're actually people who depend on other people psychologically, depend on other people for praise to fill their emptiness, and tend not to be very productive themselves. They're not motivated to do good work for their own happiness and self-esteem. They're only interested in doing things that will maintain their relationships with others. It's like a web. They're stuck in a spider web, and they need other people to stay connected to them in the web. It's sort of one way of putting it. So the quote from the book here talks about admiration, and she says that blind admiration would have been precarious. A deserved admiration would have been a responsibility. An undeserved admiration was precious. So this is from the perspective of a second-hander, which I've just described. So blind admiration is random. It's uncertain. And so that's why she calls it precarious. So that's not something that the second-hander wants. A deserved admiration would have been a responsibility. So this requires effort to maintain. You're judged by your merits, and the second-hander doesn't want that either. Instead, they want an undeserved admiration. It is precious. Why is that? Because it is free. And the difference between a self-mover who earn their admiration and the second-handers is that the second-handers are fueled by praise, and thus they need this free and easy access to admiration. That's why it's so precious to them. And of course, the question then becomes, what does this do to admiration? And what kind of world sustains free admiration? You could think of in school, probably in public school. You might remember getting participation awards. You might remember everyone getting a grade on something, or everyone being praised equally. Does that make for a good society? Does that promote and support what makes for a good and productive society if we are giving everyone participation awards, no matter what they do? You know, whether you do good things, whether you do nothing, or whether you do bad things, you all get the same admiration. What kind of world does that sustain? I think that's the question that Rand asks with that.